right, so get this.
Go.
We're diving into David Gilmour at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, wow.
And this is based off a review from the I Glue on Vinyl's channel. They loved it so much they went 2 nights in a row.
Wow. That's a good sign.
Right. Must have been something really special happening there.
Yeah, it makes you curious what they saw.
Absolutely. And one thing that jumps out is the set list.
Yeah.
20 songs, over 2 hours, including an intermission.
Wow, that is generous.
I mean, that's commitment from an artist. You know,
Yeah.
especially someone like Gilmour who could easily, just do the hits.
Right, exactly. So what kind of songs are we talking here?
Well, that's the interesting part. It wasn't just a greatest hits reel, although there were plenty of those moments.
So a good balance then.
Yeah.
For the diehards and, the more casual fans.
Yeah, exactly. Walking that tightrope, appealing to everyone.
So how did he pull that off?
Well, picture this. He opens with some of his newer, moodier material.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
Like 5 a.m. Black Cat. That kind of atmospheric, almost ethereal vibe.
Ah, I see, drawing you in.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's building this world piece by piece.
And starting with the new stuff shows confidence, not just relying on the past.
Totally. And I like that. It's like, this is where I am now. This is what I'm creating.
Right. And then I bet he shifts gears.
You bet he does. Strategically moves into Dark Side of the Moon territory.
Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong with that.
I mean, Dark Side, that's an album that just transcends generations.
Absolutely. Everyone knows those songs.
So what was it like when those iconic notes hit?
Well, the reviewer talks about this hushed reverence, this wave of nostalgia.
I can imagine everyone holding their breath.
Yeah, and then erupting when they recognize time or, those classic riffs.
It's crazy how certain music can just transport you like that.
Oh, yeah, totally. Decades just melt away.
You're right back to the first time you heard it.
Like a time machine.
Absolutely. So did the reviewer say anything about how Gilmour himself sounded, after all this time,
They actually called him a guitar god, which,
that could sound a little over the top.
yeah.
But with certain musicians, it's not just about technical skill.
It's that emotion, that storytelling.
Exactly, and that's what I'm getting at.
And that's what the reviewer was saying. They specifically praised his smooth, soaring tones.
Wow.
Still has that power.
And remember, this is someone who saw him 2 nights in a row.
Exactly.
They're not just gushing over one performance.
Right. It's consistent.
So, okay, I'm starting to get why they went back for seconds.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, were there any, standout moments, any solos that the reviewer mentioned specifically?
Well, we can't talk about Gilmour without talking about Comfortably Numb.
Right, of course.
And apparently, time stood still during those solos.
Wow.
The reviewer describes it as raw, powerful, deeply emotional, the whole package.
That's the one everyone waits for, isn't it?
Yeah, the one that defines him for a lot of people.
It's like, can you imagine being there in that moment? The whole Hollywood Bowl focused on just him.
Yeah, and that guitar.
And just feeling that energy.
And it sounds like he delivered.
Wow.
They said he was totally present, pouring his heart into it, not just phoning it in.
Right, a real connection.
With the audience and the music.
Yeah, so, okay, I'm definitely getting why the reviewer went back for more. This sounds like more than just a concert.
Right.
But I'm curious, was it all just nostalgia? A trip down memory lane?
Well.
Or were there any surprises in the set list?
Oh, there were definitely some unexpected turns.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, for instance, Gilmour's daughter, Romany, joined him on stage.
Oh, wow.
For a few songs.
But it adds a whole other dimension.
Right.
What, was it just like a quick cameo or a more substantial thing?
More than just a cameo, she actually sings on his recent album.
Oh, wow.
And she even had a solo moment during the show, singing between 2 points.
I love that.
The reviewer described it as bringing a really intimate layer to the concert.
That's so cool. Imagine being there, witnessing this father-daughter duo, sharing their passion for music.
This have been pretty special.
Yeah, incredibly moving, I bet.
Definitely. They talked about how you could feel this warmth, this connection between them.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, and it seems like the audience was really drawn into that personal aspect.
Yeah, I bet it makes you think about the legacy of musicians like Gilmour.
Totally.
It's not just about the music. It's about, passing the torch.
Right, inspiring the next generation.
And speaking of inspiration, oh my gosh, we have to talk about The Great Gig in the Sky.
Oh, yeah. What about it?
This wasn't just a straight performance, okay? Romany was involved again.
Wow, really?
This time on piano.
No way.
Along with Louise Marshall and the Webb sisters on vocals.
Oh, wow. A whole new take on it.
Hold on. Romany on piano for The Great Gig in the Sky. I can't even picture that.
Right.
So what was Gilmour playing then?
Lap steel guitar.
Lab steel. Wow, that is a completely different sound.
Right.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that. Lap steel has such a distinct tone.
It does, almost otherworldly.
So how did the reviewer describe this, I guess, reimagining?
Well, they called the harmonies fresh and haunting,
Hmm.
capturing that raw emotion of the original outlet.
But still bringing something new.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. That's what makes these deep dives so great.
Right.
It's not just a summary of the show. It's about finding those little details
Yeah, those unique
that
moments.
make a performance really special.
Absolutely, and it sounds like this whole concert was full of them.
So did the reviewer say anything about the overall flow of the show? Was it just, one hit after another,
Mhm.
or was there a structure to the set list?
Oh, definitely not random.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about those moodier opening songs?
Yeah, setting the mood.
Well, from there, it kind of shifted into a chronological journey
Oh, cool.
through his career,
Wow.
from the Dark Side era
Yeah.
to some later Pink Floyd tracks, and then even back to his recent solo material.
So he's taking the audience on a ride through his musical evolution.
Exactly.
Wow, that's smart.
It's like a story.
And did the reviewer have any thoughts on how that structure affected the experience, for the listener?
They said it felt like a carefully curated emotional arc, with peaks and valleys that mirrored the different phases of his work.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's true. Artistry, he's not just playing songs, he's crafting an experience.
Exactly, and clearly an experience that resonated with people.
Yeah, and he's doing it with an intention to satisfy a wide range of fans,
Yeah,
right?
you remember the reviewer went 2 nights in a row.
Right.
That says something about the depth and variety.
It's incredible to think that he can still command that level of attention, that devotion from his fans after all these years.
Right.
It's really a testament to the power of his music.
Absolutely, to transcend time, connect people on such a deep level.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's this one question that keeps popping into my head.
Okay, what is it?
We've talked about the set list, the collaborations, the reimagined classics, but how does someone like Gilmour, after decades in the music industry, how do they keep their music feeling fresh and relevant?
That's the question, isn't it? I
Right.
think the answer is in everything we've been talking about.
Yeah.
That thoughtful set list construction, that willingness to experiment with arrangements,
Uh-huh.
the inclusion of, family.
Talented musicians.
Yeah, all of it. It's like he's constantly pushing himself,
Yeah.
finding new ways to connect with his audience, but also with his own creative spirit.
Exactly.
And I think that's what makes this concert, and honestly, his whole career, so fascinating.
Yeah.
He's not content to rest on his laurels,
Mhm.
He's still exploring, seeking out those moments of musical magic.
And this has been such a great deep dive.
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten this glimpse into what makes him so unique, such an enduring artist.
Absolutely.
And we haven't even talked about the encore yet.
Oh, man, that's right.
Yeah, so let's take a quick break, gather our thoughts, and then we'll come back and delve into that emotional climax,
I can't wait.
that unforgettable performance of Comfortably Numb.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so we're back, still kind of reeling from this David Gilmour concert experience.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
We've covered so much already.
Right, from the set list to the family connection, the reimagined great gig in the sky.
It's been a wild ride, but you know what's coming, right?
Oh, yeah, the big one.
The encore.
Yeah, and it's exactly what you'd expect.
Comfortably Numb.
Comfortably Numb. The song that, it just defines him for so many people.
The reviewer called it the emotional climax of the show, what made it stand out, We've already talked about so many amazing moments.
Well, it seems like everything, all of Gilmour's artistry, it all came together in this one song.
Wow.
The way he built the tension, those opening chords, everyone knows them.
Yeah, it's iconic.
And then, bam, those solos. Raw, powerful, deeply emotional.
It's crazy how a single song can become so ingrained in our culture,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For so many people, Comfortably Numb is the David Gilmour experience.
It is. It's the one.
Do you ever think he gets tired of playing it?
That's what I always wonder. Like, how do you play the same song for decades and still,
Keep that spark, that connection.
Right, exactly. But based on this review, it doesn't sound like he's phoning it in.
No, it sounds like he's still finding ways to make it fresh.
To find that emotional core and really share it with the audience.
Maybe that's the secret. It's not about just playing the notes. It's about finding the heart of the song.
Uh-huh. Each and every time.
And, there's also something to be said for the shared experience.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Imagine being in that crowd, thousands of people, all connected by this one song.
It's almost like a ritual, you know?
Yeah, a collective catharsis.
And for an artist like Gilmour, who's been doing this for so long, that connection must be so powerful.
It's like a validation, a confirmation that his music still matters.
It's a beautiful thing.
And this whole deep dive has been a testament to that, you know.
Totally.
We've talked about how he keeps his music fresh, the collaborations, how he structures the set list to appeal to everyone.
It's clear he's still passionate. He hasn't lost that drive.
Even at 78, it's amazing.
It's inspiring, you know?
It's like a reminder that you can always evolve, keep challenging yourself, never lose that spark.
And that's what I hope people take away from this.
Yeah, the power of passion, dedication, and that enduring magic of music.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of David Gilmour.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep listening, and keep the music playing.